and they probably moved out themselves. You don't hear nothing. You didn't see nothing. You didn't wake up. You just woke up and all of the furniture was gone and they moved up out of the basement. That almost sounds crazy. That sounds insane.
Her husband and her adult son packed up and left in the same night. And I just want you to know that even God requires 2 witnesses before he makes a ruling. And both witnesses just voted with their U-Haul. How toxic do you got to be for your son to co-sign the exit plan? Let's check it out.
My husband and my son snuck out while I was sleeping and moved out. I obviously have been talking about what I'm going through on here a little bit. Honestly, I haven't even really began to dive into what has happened, but this morning I woke up. A little bit after I woke up, I realized my son's car wasn't here. And a little backstory, my husband has been living in the house. He's been living in the basement. We have a completely finished basement that's kind of like an in-law suite. So he's been living down there. I don't bother him down there. I probably see him maybe 10 minutes a whole day.
Imagine being married as a husband, whether you're going through a divorce or not, and having to live in the basement.
Thing I kind of asked was if he's coming and going to let me know when he's leaving so that I know who's in and out of the house, which I feel like is kind of reasonable. Like, I don't know where he goes half the time. Anyway, so I noticed my son's car wasn't here, and neither was his, but his usually isn't here in the morning. My son's car is always here.
I looked in the comments. I'm reacting to this in real time, but I did look in the comments and I seen the first comment. Somebody asked, how old is her son? She said 19, allegedly.
Never leaves the house unless he has class and he's still on break. So I texted my husband and was like, hey, where's our son? I assume my husband was at pickleball and would text me when he was done.
Why wouldn't she ask the son, where is he?
That my phone.
Right. Does your son have a cell phone? Like...
started ringing almost immediately, and it was him. And he then informed me that he and my son, while I was sleeping this morning, snuck and moved out.
How do you sleep so hard to where you can't hear the son and the husband moving out?
I don't know. Some people are just dead asleep. I know people who sleep through crazy stuff, and I've slept through like every earthquake we've had in California the last 13 years I lived here now.
And didn't tell me. Now, do I expect my husband to tell me that he's moving out? Well, I kind of expect him to tell me. If he wants to move out, he can move out. But I literally said something to him earlier this week where I was like, I feel like there's something going on that you're not telling me. And he's like, no, nothing. Why couldn't you just tell me? Why?
Because you made him your ex. You pushed him down into the basement. He had to live there until he could get it together enough to get out and out of your hair. You literally got the rest of the house. Why would this man owe you anything?
Smart man. Smart man. Never let your left hand know what your right is doing. If you are already in a toxic situation, then you don't have to give somebody preparation for what you got going on so that they can try to stop you from doing whatever it is that you're doing. And again, I'm assuming, because I'm reacting to this in real time, that they were getting a divorce or they were in separation and they was going their own separate ways. And so he doesn't have to give you heads up. The only thing he has to do is do what he got to do. The question is, why is it so toxic, and how was the son even working with? Because usually children tend to take care of their mothers. How did it become so toxic to where the son even want to get away from you?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen enough divorce videos and read enough divorce stories now to see that a lot of kids actually do side with the father because the mom is usually crazy or has some sort of mental thing going on, or is just being unreasonable towards the dad, and the kids see that. So I don't think it's that uncommon.
That's the thing that I'm asking myself, because there's always two sides to a story. And so I always look for the context clues when I'm listening to these conversations and trying to understand what's going on. Again, my question is, the son is an adult, right? Meaning that the son isn't even in this space where they're a little kid. You got to fight for custody and all this stuff. The son dipped out at the same time as the husband, and they got the hell up out of there. Now, it sounds like the husband is really, really smart. Like, yep, he just bided his time. He probably stacked his bread. He probably went through it. It's cool. Sounds like he's communicative, meaning that he called it right back. And when he got himself together and when he was in a good space or when he was fully prepared, he made the move, he dipped, and he got up out of there. But I'm still trying to figure out, it's still one detail that I'm trying to figure out.
He was probably still helping pay the bills, which is probably why she's so up in his grill now, because now he's just like, I'm out of there. I'm only paying for myself. I'm not trying to have you prevent me from leaving because you need me to stick around for financials and, maybe guilt trip me. He is sounding pretty smart.
Actually, it's two. The first one is, how do you sleep through a move out? You don't hear a truck. You don't hear no furniture, movers. Because it sounds like maybe the son and the husband was working together and they probably moved out themselves. You don't hear nothing. You didn't see nothing. You didn't wake up. You just woke up and all of the furniture was gone and they moved up out of the basement. That almost sounds crazy. That sounds insane. And for something to get so toxic, because usually relationships, that break up and they in that type of space, it's on some like, beefing, but when it get to the point to where, oh no, everything is cool, we chilling, we keeping it moving, we gonna make it work, we gonna make it do what it do, then it's something bad. It's something really, really bad that's attached to this whole situation. And I'm not going to assume as far as being able to say what it is or how, bad it is or any of that, but I am going to say if it get to that point, then it's pretty problematic and it's pretty toxic.
A lie. He knows I hate lying. It's like the universe's joke. I hate lying so much, and he's a pathological liar. I should have known. I was really hurt, actually, that my son clearly knew that this was happening and didn't say anything to me.
It's not lying to not tell you about it. That's not lying. But the fact that you're just calling him a pathological liar on TikTok probably shows that you're maybe projecting a little bit of your own BS.
Didn't say to his father, I feel uncomfortable being put in this situation. Maybe you should tell her the truth. And that he moved. Like, my son and my husband are close, but I don't know. I'm pretty hurt by it, actually. I'm really trying not to cry. Like, what kind of person does that? And like, I'm hurt by my son, but I can't really be mad at him because I know he was manipulated in the situation.
I mean, I doubt he was manipulated. Maybe you are the manipulative one and he was able to recognize that. That seems most likely here.
I know that my husband probably presented it to him in a way where my son didn't realize he was being manipulated and felt like he had to make a choice. I'm sure my husband said, I'm moving out. Do you want to move out with me?
Can you give us a reason why it would be better for him to continue living with you as opposed to your husband?
Then makes my son feel like he has to make that choice.
There's no accountability, responsibility, self-reflection. Nope. None of that. Just
me.
Just
I'm the victim.
It, huh?
Make a decision instead of saying, I'm moving out. I'm just letting you know. Where then my son isn't put in that position to make a choice and can think about it and make a choice later, maybe have a conversation with me as well, instead of sneaking out while I was sleeping and not telling me. This is the kind of man that he is.
Or maybe it's the kind of woman that you are. Maybe they had to do this sneaking out because you would have gone Ape-Sh or something. There has to be a reason why they would want to avoid it. And maybe you never go away for the weekend. Maybe you never go on vacation. There was no other opportunity to do it without waking the beast inside. That's probably the reason that they were avoiding you.
Is exactly who he is. He is very sneaky. He lies about just about everything. It's just who he is. I had actually accepted that is who he is and just kind of ignored it and was just living with it for many, many years. But
zero accountability here. This is crazy.
I'm still in shock. Like, I had a couple panic attacks. I've been crying. I've called my dad.
People who don't have panic attacks, like legit ones, are always claiming that they had panic attacks and then they'll fake one. I had an ex who used to fake panic attacks for attention.
Damn it. Like, when does it end? My whole life.
Uh-oh, not the tears, the manipulation
the TikTok tears.
We're not easily manipulated, man. We've been seeing this for a long time. We know how to read through the bullshit.
My entire childhood was surviving abuse. My first marriage was
not abuse thing.
Living with somebody who wouldn't talk to me. And in the last 20 years have
so
been
abusive.
me just trying to get through every day with somebody who clearly hates me. The hardest part is feeling a little betrayed by my kids.
She's feeling
I don't want to be angry about it because I know that they've been manipulated, but it still hurts. And
I want you guys to know that if you're laughing at this with me, you're not going to hell.
Just feel very alone.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. She feels very alone. Look, when you get, like I said, when you get to the point to where you got to be relegated to the basement and you're still overbearing and telling somebody that they need to let you know when they coming and going, and I'm assuming that he's contributing to the bills and the responsibilities, and the level of manipulation in this video alone tells me a lot. And so she's going to pin it on the husband. She's going to pin it on the son. She's going to pin it on everything. At no point in this video, because everybody has a role to play in whatever it is that's going on inside of this relationship, right? And whenever you get to a point where you now are continuously blaming everybody else instead of taking some level of ownership and responsibility of the situation that you're in, I know that there's some level of manipulation in there. And you got to be a toxic person. You got to be one of the most toxic people ever to be in a space where people are sneaking out from under your manipulation overnight. You have to be one of the most toxic people ever.
I imagine the son has seen her record one too many of these triple T videos. I'm going to call them TikTok tears. And he just knows
for that to happen, because that just doesn't happen, especially with the kids. And once they become adults, they get to see what the truth is. But let me know what you guys think inside of the comments. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. And I always like to leave a link back to credit the content creator because it's the right thing to do.
Anton made some fine points there. A perfect TikTok tears manipulation video for us to laugh at. Son and dad definitely have been watching this go on for a while, and she must be a heavy sleeper, or they're like hobbits and move incredibly stealthily throughout the house to be able to move out in the middle of the night. Or she's just not telling the truth to begin with, and she's trying to make them look bad, and she did actually witness them moving out and she couldn't stop them, so she decided to try and make it sneaky. Who knows? But we got to watch out for women like that. Anyway, Anton Daniels, much respect to you. After all the Corey Holcomb stuff, gained a little bit more respect for you, and I would like to do some more of your videos, so hopefully you're cool with it. Anyway, if you guys are liking my channel, please hit subscribe if you're new, and the little dingy button so you know when Jesus drops a new video from heaven. Peace out, and amen.